Hello everybody, little technical advice from Beringer Brakes USA. Today we're going to show you how to service a thumb brake. Okay, so this is just a little stand we have, so it's not exactly like it would be on your bike with the clutch lever attached. It's just for better showing. So first of all, you should remove, so here you have your fluid reservoir. So I would loosen it up from the bracket and empty the contents of the reservoir and the hose out to avoid any spillage. I would not disconnect the brake line. Just leave it attached for now. Hopefully you have enough slack that you can turn the device around. And then the next thing you want to do is to extract the elbow. So you can take, this is an 8mm wrench, and then yank. It's going to take a while because it's really tight, because that little elbow has a ridge, as you can see here. So the ridge has to get past the grommet to pull out. So you can do it this way, or you can take a 7mm wrench and place it underneath here, which normally fits perfect on the elbow, and then apply leverage and pull up to remove the elbow. After that, with a pick, you want to remove the grommet right there. So that's what you would do to replace the elbow and grommet on any remote reservoir, master cylinder, clutch, or brake, in case you break the elbow, which is a little bit fragile in case of a crash. When you reinstall this thing, this elbow can turn ever so slightly, but you have to take it like that with your hand, with your thumb, real tight on the vertical part, this part, because otherwise, if you just stick it here, it might break. So you want to do it very gently like that with your two fingers and turn it very gently. So once you have removed the elbow and the grommet, you will see the feed hole inside the master cylinder. At that point, if this is the only thing you're doing, or you're only replacing the dust seal, which is back here, you can actually pull the lever like this. That's going to push the piston all the way in, and through the hole you're going to see the piston. So put a 2.5mm rod in there, a strong toothpick, a very small screwdriver, a little paper clip, and stop the piston from moving. So this will keep the piston in place as long as the rod doesn't fall out. So sometimes we take a paper clip and then we just duct tape the paper clip around so it doesn't jump off, and that way you can replace the piston and just the seal. If you're going to take the piston out, in that case it's a different story altogether, because you can leave the lever attached to the rocker arm and just take the entire rocker arm assembly off with the second screw. So this first screw attaches the lever to the rocker arm. This attaches the rocker arm assembly with the lever to the body. So you take this screw off, which is this guy, and that allows you to remove the entire rocker arm assembly. At that point, be careful, because the piston, there's no retaining clip on the piston, so it might just want to jump out. So be ready for it to come out. If it doesn't come out, just flick it with your finger, and eventually by going ting 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 like a pinball machine, it will come out. So then what you want to do is inspect the bore. If your bore is worn out like this guy here, right there, that means dirt got into the system. So here is where the dust seal goes. It just sits here and it prevents dirt from going into the master cylinder. This is not horrible because it's the beginning of the stroke. If it's gouged deeper in there, you will probably never get optimal pressure even with a new piston, and you'll have to think of replacing the entire master cylinder assembly. That's a sad deal, but that's the way it goes when too much dirt has gone on there. It happens often when the seal is no good, when you pressure wash the bike and the water pressure just pushes the dirt inside the bore past this seal. So you have to be very careful about that. So once you have removed everything and cleaned the bore, put the new piston in. So obviously the cups of the seals are cone shaped, so you have with your fingernail, you have to push all the way around for the first cup to go in, then the second cup, and then you have to hold it in place, push it with your finger until the piston reaches the feed hole, and then you put your paper clip in there and hold the piston in place. You want to have this area where the seal goes, you want to have this area totally dry. So, you know, we use a Q-tip and solvent or something, and or rubbing alcohol, and rub it dry. The little seal has ridges, as you can see. That's the only thing that retains, that keeps the seal in place. We don't have a clip or anything. So it's essential that it's dry. It's essential that this area is dry. The seal goes this way with the cavity on the top, because you'll see the lip is towards the top. If you put it upside down with the numbers showing like that, then you are inviting the dirt to go in. So the numbers, the flat part, goes inside the master, the lip goes to the outside. The way to push it in, you have to push it very square. If it starts going sideways, put it out. We use a socket, like on the number 12 master cylinder. I think a 10 millimeter socket works well. Or a flat blade screwdriver, and just push it in gently. You can, for safety, put a little dab of super glue on 4 points, and it won't move anymore. After you have done that, then you can reattach your rocker arm like this, and with the lever, and when that is attached, then you can release the pin that holds the piston very gently. You know, you want to actually push the lever in so it's got pressure on the piston, pull the pin out, and let it out gently. When you do that, when you reattach the rocker arm, you know, with this screw here, you don't want to tighten it too much, because this is, you know, horseshoe shape. If you tighten this screw too much, it will pinch the rocker arm and preventing from rocking freely. So it's got 2 sealed bearings on each side and a nylock nut. So there's no reason for it to come out. So there's no need to over tighten it. So you want to make sure that the rocker arm moves freely with not too much play. And then also, if you replace the bearing at that time, right here, you want to make sure that this bearing is totally free to spin around. So when I come to the races, you'll see I'll check the bearing on the bikes. You want this bearing to roll freely, because that's what rolls on the piston head and allows the piston to go perfectly straight into the bore. If it's rusted, if it's gouged or broken, then you lose probably 10% of the efficiency of the master cylinder and its sensitivity. So we supply bearings for that, so you can replace the bearing at that time. When you replace it, make sure this screw here is not over tightened either, because it will pinch the bearing and prevent it from rolling. So good luck with that. It's not very difficult. If you let the minimal amount of fluid out, it won't be so bad to bleed the system. You can always, instead of flicking the lever to get fluid in there, you know, I mean, obviously put fluid in your reservoir, it's going to go down the hose and into the chamber. But to assist it, you can push a little bit of fluid through the rear master cylinder. It'll go up the line and through the line here, and then you'll see bubbles come out of the reservoir. And then you'll have a simple bleed to do 1 or 2 flicks with the bleeder on the banjo bolt right here, and it should be fairly easy. So the least amount of draining will help you tremendously on making this operation short and sweet. All right, good luck.